In order to build the Twilight of the Republic master set, I needed to get a very, very large binder to fit this set. Most of the cards in Star Wars Unlimited have 4 variations, so we need a lot of space. We've got 4 columns by 4 rows. We're going to be able to fit over 1,000 cards in this binder. So let's get started. I love building master sets. I love filling binders with cards. We're going to start that here for Twilight of the Republic. And before we dive too far in, I'm going to let you know the order that I've chosen for it, because when you put a master set in a binder like this, the first thing you want to decide is how you're going to organize it. Some people like to, for Star Wars, they like to put each variation of a card going across in a row. Other people only want to do foils, they only want to do non-foils, they want to put in play sets. There's lots of ways, right, you can fill your binder. So for me, what I've decided is I like separating out the non-foils, the foils, the hyperspace, and the non-hyperspace. So what we're going to do this whole way through is we're actually going to go in the set order in the bottom right side of the card, and we're going to do it first, all the non-foils. So we're going to start here with our leaders that you can see here, and we are going to fill in set order all the non-foils. Then we'll hop to hyperspace non-foils, and then we'll switch over to the foil variations of everything, and everything should go in order real nice for us. Now you can see already I have skipped the very first card, Nalase, and that is because here, this first part that I'm putting in, I'm only putting in cards from the very first box that we opened here on the channel for Master Set Madness. That was the first video that we did. You can go back and watch it if you haven't already, though by the time you're done with this, there's not going to be any surprises, right? But I wanted to first give everybody an idea of what it looks like in the binder just after one box. You'll get a nice view for how many of the cards you can actually have a reasonable expectation to get, and you get a chance to see kind of what the variety of things are here. Now we're going to have, again, a few missing spots. We got to count things out. It's not too bad though for a first page, just from one box. Now of course most of these are commons. We got 1, 2, 3 different rares there. We'll have another rare here on the next page. But again, I like going in the number order. It's way easier than trying to remember you gotta skip different things. Though I'm gonna be honest, I'm still kind of stuck in that 9-page binder mindset. So I have to double check myself before I hop into the next pages. So let's go ahead. Now that's what we have for leaders. We're going to move into our bases. We don't have them all here again because in this first box we did not get all of the rare bases. I believe we're missing a couple of them. So let's go ahead. We're going to fill these in. I love the way that Star Wars looks here. And of course, you know, I do prefer the hyperspace look. So it's going to be really fun when we jump ahead to that. Now again, as you're doing any sort of binder like this, it's better to take your time. I almost tried to put in red cards before the green cards. That would have been bad. And I also just put that card in the wrong slot. So that's part of the problem, right, of trying to think and talk at the same time. They're difficult tasks. So what I'm going to do here is we're not going to go on the whole way talking about things. We're going to do a little bit of a speed up, and then I will pause when there's something particularly cool to look at. Otherwise, we're going to kind of zoom through some of the non-foils here. We'll fill it up, and then I'll give you a quick flip through to see what we get from one box. And then we're going to move on to the foils in different parts of the binder. And it's going to take a couple of videos to fill this up because I'm only using cards that I open up from boxes. And you know, it's gonna take quite a few boxes to fill this thing in. So without further ado, let's fill the binder. Well, as you can already see, we messed up and skipped a number. Fortunately, we didn't get too far, so we fixed it. We're moving on. We're moving forward again. There you go. That's number 257 out of 257. And honestly, I was a bit surprised filling it in how many slots we actually have already just from one box. Now, obviously, we're missing a lot of legendaries. We only have 3 so far in here, and lots of rares missing as well. But not too shabby, not too bad. Again, for just one box. But even here, it's a little bit unfair to expect too much from one box when you have cards that you got to open this for, right? So let's go ahead and crack this open and get those starter cards in the set. As you can see here, we have number 15, which we will need. General Grievous. Of course, we're going to have to sleeve these up before we get them in the binder. We'll look for all our S's that we need here. Oh man, we got to find a couple more. There we go. Separatist Commando, number 180. The Battle Droid Escort at 229. Who else? Ooh, there you go. General's Guardian. That's cool. Now, the one thing that's going to be tricky about all these S's is they don't have a foil counterpart. So once we get to the foil section, wow, we're not going to leave some empty spaces, right? We hate empty spaces. So it's going to be a bit dicey. Waylay as well. And Grievous's wheel bike. Of course, we need our Ahsoka. And I can tell right there, 332nd Stalwart. A lot of single cards in this deck. Oh my goodness, heavy. There's Annie. Good old Anakin. Can't have our set without you. Captain Rex, nice. And ooh, Ahsoka's Padawan lightsaber. Love lightsabers. Sad though to not have that in foil in the set. Or as a hyperspace. Real bummer in my opinion that those ones don't get to be included. Once you add those starter cards, not bad at all. We almost have all of the hero cards there, and we got all of the villainy ones. And then again, it feels like just a few spots left to fill this up. Now, of course, we did get more cards in our first box. We've got a bunch of hyperspace. We've got some foils. You can see what we got here. But I think I'm going to pause on putting them all in first. There's that Ki-Adi-Mundi. Such a nice one. I think instead, let's try and add in the rest of the full case as we do this. Because otherwise we're just going to be skipping a lot of numbers, and if we do too much counting, well, the more counting we do and the less cards putting in we do, the more likely we just miss. So I'm going to jump to the rest of that first case I opened, fill up the front, and then we'll move on to the next part. We are really going to make some progress here with the rest of this case. We're adding a bunch of legendaries and rares here. You saw Ki-Adi-Mundi. We added Satine already. Gore is coming in, helping us out here. Who else did we get? Resolute. No we should have a couple more legendaries here. Planetary Invasion, Cad Bane in his regular version. Chancellor Palpatine. Man, this is going to be pretty full. Probably almost all the rares as well. I think he's pretty happy that he gets to sit right here next to Jar Jar Binks, and they get to enjoy each other's presence for the rest of time. Just 4 more cards to throw in here. We'll sneak these ones in quick. Ooh, look, we got another full page. Very nice. Now, of course, the challenge is not really this first part as we try and complete a master set here. The real challenge is going past these. And as you can see, most of this book is going to be full. But we've done the easy part here, and we're looking good. So let's go ahead and let's jump into hyperspace time. Things get a little funny at this point. We're already going to break our number order rule there. We're going to jump from 257 to 276 because in between there, that's where all of the showcase cards are. But I want to have the order of this binder being from non-foil to hyperspace non-foil to foil, and then hyperspace showcase foil, all that. So it's not going to be 100% perfect. You also will need a couple of cards from your pre-release kit. And this is kind of interesting. You'll see on these, they say numbers 1 and 2 as the starter cards. But when you look in the binder, you can see that they have left the spot here from 295 to 297 as if there were no 296. So I'm not quite sure why they wrote them like that. I believe Grievous would be right there. The hyperspace cards look so cool in this set, but there's something a little weird going on with these bases. All of the other common bases we have out here are in the right order: 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. They keep going. We get 303 on the first yellow one. And then these next two go to 518 and 519. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. They should be right here. Am I wrong? Am I wrong or am I right? They should just be right there. So I'm actually going to put them there and maybe get myself into trouble. Because look, I could see here, this is the one that says 305 on it, wartime trade official. But that would technically put him there, and then you don't have any yellows. I don't know what's going on there, which must mean, though, there's some other card right before there. Let's go back and check. What is before the wartime trade official? Yep, we got Rune Hako, so we'll leave space for him, but I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm not sure how they got those numbers wrong. I don't like it, but I do like General Grievous here, one of our hyperspace legendaries. He comes in here at 307. Hopefully we're not messing all of our numbers up completely. It's gonna be real sad if things get off, but at this point, if they do, well, you just gotta kind of deal with it. And you know, we can add things at the end if we need to. We don't have a lot of hyperspace rares at this point, but the ones that we do, they do look good. Man, I love this hyperspace full art look. So one thing I wanted to add was right here at the end of the hyperspace cards, I wanted to add the tokens. I'll put the hyperspace ones in first, so that they are next to their hyperspace friends, and then we're going to add these ones there. Now we will probably, I'll have to double check how much space I have left, but we'll probably leave these spaces open then hop into foils here. Man, though, you could see from one case we are missing a lot of the regular hyperspace cards, and oh my goodness, just imagine how few we're gonna have at the foil hyperspace section. Only part that looks kind of decent here are our heroes and bases, and then blue. You know, blue kind of started to pull things ahead with a couple of big legendaries there. We are going to start with our foils here. I checked, we should have plenty of space for it. As we move right away into our foil section, we just start off with a couple of bases because the hero cards do not have foils at this level. Neither do the non-rare bases, so we just have 4 for bases. And then we hop right into our blue-black cards here, our Vigilance Villainy cards. And so we're just going to go ahead and we count it out. We're actually starting at card 31 here. So 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. The first one, even from commons and stuff here, is actually coming in at that point. So not a whole lot happening here on the first foil page. Again, we'll pick it up a little bit here because there are so many cards to fill in this binder, but I do want to stop and show you some really cool foil hyperspace cards because I absolutely love the art in this game. I think the art here in set 3 has some of my favorite pieces so far. I'm not even gonna get that far. I just want to stop and show you. Look at this comment. I love the clones in this set, and the foiling is fun. Hyperspace version of the clones. Pretty much all the ones I've seen are very, very exciting as well. Can't wait to get those ones in here. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Darth Maul. Now is the time for the hyperspace foil cards, showcases, all that fun. So I just want to highlight some of the foiling here. The cards, they look so good in this full art hyperspace style. You'll see I have a couple cards actually upside down because, you know, the way they put them in the packs at the back, sometimes they get some big damage. So those are just reminders for me where drone looks cool. The events don't look as cool. The picture's a little bit smaller on them, but this one here, Obedient Vanguard. Oh, it's just a common. I want you to be able to see that shine a little better without that sleeve the whole way. Look at him. Oh man, again, the whole structure design of that image is engaging, it's interesting, it's focused and yet detailed. I love it. There's just the right amount of lasers going around there, so it feels like a lot's happening, but it doesn't overwhelm. The image is so good. All these droids here, they look good to me. Jesse, he's the dude there. What else we got here? That commando one's pretty cool. Analysis, here we go. Planetary Invasion looks real nice. It would be, oh, it'd be so nice though if we could make that box a little bit smaller, like on these cards. You can see there the difference. It's just bigger on events. This one here, P-38 Starfighter. Oh yeah, one of the coolest looking hyperspace foils that I have seen so far in this set. Very nice. We'll put that one there. Another one that was damaged from the pack. I do like the framing, the way they are putting a lot of these ships. They're designed for that hyperspace look, and so it's here where you actually start to see what they are meant to be. The clone trooper looks great. Don't let me forget though, I actually think that first box, very first box we opened, had some of the best ones. Foresight, Yoda's looking great there, and then man, Cad Bane. Have I shown you this one before? Wow, one of the best looking cards in this set, or in Star Wars, I think, so far. And again, you can tell here that it's designed with this hyperspace look in mind from the start. And the art design is all focused. Not all focused, but to me it seems like it's very well focused with that idea of the hyperspace lines and everything pulling from the side. Same thing here on Hidden Sharpshooter. Very, very cool perspective card. I feel like I don't see this perspective very often on TCG cards, and it just feels like once you see it, it feels like it's one that should be there a lot. Now, I want to see all the showcase cards on one page, so instead of starting them here, I'm going to just skip this part here. I'm going to jump ahead, and I actually think I'm going to put the showcases at the end. We're going to undo the order of the numbers, and that way I can start here with hyperspace foils. We'll get a full double sheet of hyperspace foil cards, which are going to look amazing. And that means we have to do the rare bases first, and then we jump ahead to that first blue-black card. Who did we say it was? Rune something. I'll go back and check the number on that. I believe it's going to be the 304. So we're starting with 304 here. Again, I have that upside down just because it has a little bit of damage on it, and by leaving it that way, I'll remember to replace it with a better version if I find one. We got all the foils in. As you can see, we are missing quite a few of them. Now, I did leave spaces open for where there are starter cards, cards with the S rarity on them. And I left them open mostly because it was just easier to go through. I was having enough hard of a time trying to count and get things right without taking those out and shifting everything forward. Plus, the website says they do have foils. I don't know that they actually do. I haven't seen them for the other sets or anything. I didn't get any. I don't know how you get them. If you can get them, if they're real, they're not real. Anyways, we'll just put non-foil ones in there if we have to. And then again, I left this space open here so that we could jump to hyperspace foils. And man, we got so many, right? So many. Look at this. One case. This is what you get for your hyperspace foils for putting together your master set. Obviously, this is going to be the most difficult section to fill. The showcases included. Remember, I'm going to have the showcases come right after there. So this is where we should have some showcase fun. And as you can tell, yeah, we don't have anything yet. It's going to be very, very difficult to open, but we're going to give it a shot. We're going to have some fun. And of course, we'll be selling all the singles and other things that we have that are extras. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this part of the madness. We'll see you next time as we add a couple more cases into this binder to get this thing filled out. In the meantime, have some fun with Twilight of the Republic. We'll see you next time. Peace.